Hi, my name is Haven and I'm in Year 4 at GA. I'm part of the Adventures Academy and I'm working on a science project for the Griffith University Science Competition. My project is called the Science of Sand, and I've been collecting different sand samples from different beaches around the Gold Coast. I am preparing them as part of a fun collection. I'm going to interview a surf lifesaver. Let's go! Thank you for taking the time to talk with me today. Do you mind if I ask a few questions?
Absolutely.
What is your name and role at the beach?
My name is Sarah. My role at the beach is surf lifesaver. So I have a bronze medallion and I do patrol here at North Burnley Beach.
What do you like most about working at the beach at night?
Well, I love the outdoors and I love being at the beach and I love helping people. So it allows me to do all of those things in one role.
Have you noticed how the sand has changed during the year?
Yes, so as you can see today, it's winter and the sand is quite soft and fluffy because we're not in storm season. In summer, when we get really heavy rain and heavy storms, it's a lot more hard and compacted, but the wind will help move the softer sand after the storms have flattened it down and made it a bit harder.
Why do you think the sand near the water is different to the sand up here near the dunes?
So, because the tide comes up to there, and obviously it's low tide at the moment, so where the waves come up to here, you can see the line where the sand is hard, and then as we get further over here, the sand dunes are protecting the sand from moving away. So sometimes at night time the tide can come right up to where we're standing, but it doesn't go past the dunes, it'll stop there because that's protecting from erosion.
Have you seen dark or different coloured sand on the beach?
Yes, so sometimes after we have a storm or heavy rain, the different minerals from lower can come to the surface like mineralite, and that's when we can see the darker, like a darker grey sand come to the top.
Do storms or big waves on the beach change the amount or shape of sand?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm sure you remember Cyclone Alfred earlier in the year. So because the swell was so big, it caused a lot of problems for a lot of the beaches. But we were really lucky here that we only had a little bit of erosion. But when the storm was finished, it does take a few months to regenerate and the sand will slowly come back with the wind and the waves. But the council has worked really hard to move some of the sand back to make it flatter so that there's no big cliffs, but it definitely affects the amount of sand and the shape of the sand on the beach.
Is there anything you or your team do to help the sand on the beach?
Yes, so when we start our patrol, we check for rubbish, we check that the dunes are clear and that there's no animals in there that are not allowed to be in there. We check that it's safe to open the beach. There's a checklist that we have to go through to make sure that it's safe for people and where we put the flags up.
Thank you. What are some dangerous things you need to look out for to help people stay safe on the beach?
So we have to check for broken glass, sharp objects, people throw away fishing hooks and fishing nets, which can be really dangerous. Sometimes I've even found a dead pufferfish on the side, so we had to remove that because they can be poisonous. Sometimes there's blue bottle tentacles that can still sting people when they're out of the water, and there's sometimes if kids dig big holes and don't fill them back in, people that are walking past can trip over on them, so we make sure that we check for any hazards as well. beach, being respectful of our natural environment, so always taking your rubbish with you. If you see rubbish, if it's safe to pick it up and put it in the bin, because it can get swept out into the ocean, and it really hurts the fish and all of the corals and things. And if you see anything dangerous, you should always report it to a lifeguard or a lifesaver, or anybody that you can see that might be able to help, or an adult even.
What do you love most about being a surf lifesaver?
I love that people trust that they're safe swimming in the flags when they see lots of people on patrol watching them and their kids in the water. So a lot of people aren't strong swimmers, but they love to go to the beach, and so it's nice to make people feel safe, and they trust that they are safe if they're swimming in the flags when we're on patrol. So I love that part of the patrol.
Thanks for taking the time to speak with me. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome, mate. I hope to see you on the beach soon, and good luck with your project.
Thank you.